We need to own our growth. Most businesses that I meet cannot tell me what their predictable revenue numbers is. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. You are targeting the manufacturers are one of your target clients. You have a Zoom info list or an Apollo list of, say, 4,000 targets, and you're going to nurture 200 of those targets every week. And from those 200 that you're nurturing, 100 of them become aware of who you are. From that, you start engaging in conversation with 50 of them. And then from those 50, 20 book a meeting, and then 10 go on to get a proposal from you, and you end up winning one or two clients. These are your predictable revenue numbers. In fact, there are 8 magic numbers in that process. For every customer, that customer avatar or persona that you are targeting, you should have 8 numbers that correspond with that, so that you know from 200 you end up with 2. Only when you have that do you have a dial that you can turn up and down. So I'm going to walk you through what that looks like now. So this is what an in-house pod looks like with a global team for Blue. So if you're under 5 mil in revenue, I recommend that you start with an EGS facilitator. Tori's in the room there. She's one of our EGS coordinators. Say hi, Tori. So she comes into the business and she will set up the EGS frameworks, and she will set up the team, get the flywheel going, get the engine room going, get you to your predictable revenue numbers, and then step away. We want to build this in-house. We do not want third-party dependencies on things like marketing agencies. In fact, marketing agencies have been using marketing pods for a really long time. When I first started going to the Philippines about 25 years ago, there was lots of US marketing agencies there. So what they're doing is they're hiring these offshore marketing experts in the Philippines. They're paying $15 an hour. They're overseeing your account onshore, and they're charging them out at $150 an hour to you. So your money can go a lot further. Your budget can go a lot further when you build it in-house, because activity equals outcome when it comes to marketing. So we want 40 hours a week as opposed to 4 hours a week that we get with an agency. So this is a typical pod. If you take away the circle, if you're under 5 mil, I just suggest a full stack marketer to start with. If you're over 20 mil, this is what a pod looks like for a B2B business, which includes things like a multimedia artist, a full stack marketer, which is a bit like a Swiss Army knife, a social media creator, content creator, and a LinkedIn outbound lead gen strategist. So what's important about this as a B2B business is that now you've gone from agency retainer of 15,000 a month to an in-house team that are all doing 40 hours a week and running to EGS frameworks for growth. This is how we drive fast growth. So if you're in the room and you're D2C, the mix would look a little bit different of what your team would look like. You'd probably have a Shopify expert. You'd have potentially a TikTok expert. You'd have an automation specialist, those sorts of things. But for most people, when I had a look at the attendee list, most of you B2B. So this is what a typical B2B marketing pod in-house looks like with a global team. So I'm going to take you through 2 EGS frameworks. Now, Tori heads up these frameworks. So please, if you have any questions about that, she is in the room to walk you through these and some examples of how it works. So the first one is called the content creator. So the EGS framework, which is content creation. And we call this EAT, experienced, expertise, authority, and trusted. When it comes to B2B marketing, it is all about positioning you as the experts, and we can do that through digital and marketing at scale. Most people are getting their salespeople to do this, which means they have very long sales processes. We want to reduce the sales process and increase the conversion by delegating the hunting and the gathering to our lead gen and marketing team, and having our salesperson show up and close to appointments that are presetted. This means they can do 3 times as much. Think about the pod concept We're freeing them up from the lead generation and the marketing in order for them to be able to focus on high priority activities, which is showing up and closing. One thing I will say here, please do not confuse salespeople with account managers. They are two different things. Salespeople, their job is to go out and look for new logo acquisitions. Account managers have to continue to get repeat sales and open up an account to maximize a client that's existing. There are two funnels. The top of the funnel is new client acquisitions. The bottom of the funnel is account management. Most people just think in one funnel, but there's two. So I want to really make that clear that if you have salespeople or account managers that you're calling salespeople, you need to stop that behavior. We want new logo acquisitions separate to account managers because they both have separate sets of KPIs. So this is all about the first funnel. How do we create content and position you as the experts? Pre-book appointments for your salespeople so that they can show up and convert new logos. So this first one is all about content creation. So there's a really unique opportunity at the moment. You would have all heard about SEO, search engine optimization, which has been around for a very long time. Now it is all about GEO, Generative Engine Optimization. So what that means is people are going to chat and they're researching their pain points and trying to get answers to the problem that they're trying to solve inside their business. Now, what the LLMs do, which is different to the old method of SEO, which was short form content, is they're giving you long form content. That has to come from somewhere. And what they're doing is the LLMs are going out there and looking at scraping the internet and looking for long form microgranular content in order to answer that question in quick time, as we've all experienced. So your goal is to make sure that you are producing consistent long form microgranular content to feed the LLMs so that you show up inside their ChatGPT and the like as the solution. From there, they will start saying, who are the experts in that? They've already referenced your content, so they're going to start mentioning you as the experts in X. And then from there, what's interesting is human beings are then going over to Google and doing what we call Google due diligence on your business. So the first step is to start producing microgranular content. If you have an in-house marketing manager, you do not start with them and say, write me a blog. They do not know about they're not the experts inside your business. This is the job for your A team players. We want to go to them and we're going to use an AI tool that's called riverside.fm, and we're going to interview each of your experts for an hour per month. And they're going to answer problems that your clients are searching on and trying to solve in lots of detail. And we all know that those people inside our expert A team plays, they can speak underwater about the thing that they solve. We've got Jeff, for example, who's our sponsor. He can speak to you about the structures to maximize or minimize tax at an exit. He could speak on that for 4 hours straight because he's the expert in that. So we want to capture that content in video form of that person speaking. YouTube is still the largest search engine in the world. So we're going to create videos that are 20, 30 minutes long on a topic and put them on our YouTube channel, which will boost our GEO. So this is a massive opportunity right now to own GEO. You remember when SEO came out, if you had have really focused down on SEO at the time, you would have owned the market. Please make this a priority inside your business to own GEO inside your sector. And this is how you do it through this microgranular content. What's great with AI is now your offshore global team is going to take that 1 hour interview, they're going to edit it and put it on YouTube, and then they're going to use this same AI tool to be able to create loads of short form content. That short form content, 1 to 2 minutes or 30 seconds to a minute, is going to go on your social feeds. And it's really simple. AI, with a click of a button, can edit, add captions, do all sorts of things. So we can produce a lot more content now. So in your case, if you're B2B, we put that onto LinkedIn. Videos outperform stills 4-1 in social media. What that means is if you're producing video content, you have 4 times more, you're going to show up 4 times more in front of your connections than your competitors. Okay, so video is really crucial here, and we just take it from the long form content that we just produced. Then inside our Riverside, there's a click of a button, and with AI, it transcribes it. And then we're going to move into another AI tool called AnyWord, and it gives you so many content options. You can write a blog, you can write a white paper, you can write a product description page, you can do all a social media post, you can create all sorts of content using AI. Now, this is different from the old way where we would go to our marketing manager and say, hey, write us a blog on X. We start with video first, long form video, and we work our way back. And then, of course, don't forget the second funnel. This is all feeding the first funnel, which is new client acquisitions. We still have existing clients that we want to make sure we remain top of mind with and keep positioning ourselves as the experts so they don't decide that they're going to replace us with AI. So use that content for your e-newsletters. In my case, we like to SMS my long form videos to our clients as an update on the market and what's working for growth and what's not. So don't forget to also utilize your pod, your in-house marketing pod, for nurturing existing clients.